Alright everyone, I am on JoyRool's account in order to help her as well as help you guys clear Master Mode episode 1. So she was currently stuck on episode 1-3 and I actually just cleared that one, trying out different comps. Of course, not everything works just because, you know, toppings and things like that are not exactly the same as how I would have it on my main account. So I thought that maybe this account, her account, will be a bit better to explain things and to try out new things. So that's the reason why I am on this account. I am going to go through episode 1-1 through 1-3 in this video. And then after I clear more episodes here, I will be moving on to like episode 1-4, 1-5, 1-6, and then, you know, so on. But let's go over 1-1 first. So some things that I found out about 1-1. This little guy right here that can actually just kill your entire team. Alright, this guy can be stunned and frozen. Okay, he cannot be caged though, so you can't use Clotted Cream strat on him. You guys can definitely deal damage with Clotted Cream, but that cage damage won't be coming onto him because he won't be caged. Alright, so what I would definitely recommend you guys, for sure, you need to have at least cotton as well as pumpkin pie. Alright, and if you have oyster, I would say oyster is really good as well. And a replacement of oyster is going to be licorice. Alright, so if you guys have licorice cookie, you guys can actually use licorice cookie. So if you guys look right here, I believe JoyRool had licorice cookie at level 50. Alright, with full serve chocolate, not even leveled up. This is like plus 12 for 4 of them and then plus 9, I think. So obviously you can tell that it's not even leveled up. Yeah, plus 9 right there. So damage resist right now 0%. So it definitely works with just having licorice cookie. If you don't have licorice, once again, you guys can use oyster. All right, it's more like if you don't have oyster, you'll use licorice. And then for your frontline tank, I definitely do recommend someone like, you know, Wildberry. You can use Crunchy. I know Crunchy is really good right now too. You don't need to use Crunchy if you do not want to. You know, it really just depends on who you have available to you. And of course, for the treasure, the best option for you guys, of course, are going to be the scroll as well as jelly watch and the pin cushion. All right, the pin cushion is going to allow your summon units to actually have a increased amount of duration. So because of the fact that there is that debuff, you want to have the pin cushion allowing your cookies to be defended by the summoned unit, especially licorices. Alright, so in this case, I'm gonna go and do this right now, and let me show you guys exactly how to beat the stage using these kind of cookies. Alright, so of course you want to have pumpkin pie, you want to have licorice, you want to have someone like cotton. Alright, cotton is really important in this particular stages because of the fact that, you know, if you don't have cotton, you're not gonna be able to stun the big guy. All right, you need to be able to stun the big guy in order for you to actually, you know, do something, because if he's not stunned, then he's just gonna just chomp away at your entire team. All right, so you already saw that licorice, you already saw that Wildberry was so close of dying, and a good replacement for Wildberry, I believe, is going to be someone like, you know, even Sea Fairy. You know, somebody who can stun is also really good. You know, Wildberry, of course, is going to be the best option for majority of the players because of the fact that you already have Wildberry built up for, you know, arena and things like that. So this is a team. Of course, once again, you guys can replace, you know, some other cookies. I'm seeing JoyRool actually beat this one with Clotted Cream in the front. You know, if you have a Sea Fairy, then you can use Sea Fairy. I believe she used Frost Queen instead of Eclair as well. So you guys can use something like this. Just perma, freeze, stun. Just use everything at your disposal, guys. You know, just do something, but make sure to have at least, I would say, 3 of the summon units. I think that's the really main key of this in order to stop the, you know, dog from actually chomping away at your enemy. If you do not have 3 summon units, then have something like this: Cotton, Frost Queen, Sea Fairy. Alright, or you know, Wildberry in the front, or even Espresso. Right now Espresso is really good. If you have it at plus 10 though, it has to be at plus 10. If you have it at plus 10, then Espresso can actually stun, so you guys can use Espresso as well. However, if that's not the case, then I suggest that you guys use someone like Frost Queen, Sea Fairy, Wildberry. Once again, you can use Eclair to just nuke the enemy, or have enough summon units. Alright, that's gonna be the main key. If you do not have enough stuns, have enough units in the front to tank for your team. Alright guys, so moving on to episode 1-2 for master mode now. So this one is particularly easy. I would say you can use exactly the same team as you guys used for 1-1 and you guys probably won't have too much problem. If anything, I would say just bring another healer if anything, because of the fact that the boomerangs can attack your middle lane. But if you guys do have enough summon units, you should probably not have any problem. So here we go guys, let's go into it. Let me just show you guys exactly the gameplay. Really, I would say there's nothing to worry about in 1-2. Just like, you know, 1-1 you had to worry about that K count. 1-2, not too much of them. If anything, I would say, like I said, the boomerang can definitely become a problem, but I would say if you have enough summon units, the boomerangs tend to attack your summon units first. So not too much of a problem right there. Alright, so just keep that in mind. Just watch out for the HP. I would say play around 1.2 times 1.1, just 1 times speed. So let me rephrase that, 1 times speed or 1.2 times speed. I won't recommend 1.5 just because, you know, it can be difficult to time everything, especially if you guys are playing on an emulator like myself, using LD player. But here you go. You can see that these guys right here can target. You saw my pumpkin actually got targeted right there. But you know, besides that, as long as you have a decent amount of damage resist, it won't be too much of a problem. There won't be any nukes or anything like that. You know, there's no enemy that's gonna literally like one-shot your team. There's nothing like that. So 1-2 relatively easy. I would say the next problem is going to be 1-3. all right, so here we go. 1-3. So 1-3 is a little bit different than what you will face later on. All right, so for this one, technically you only need a monocle. All right, you don't even need to have your monocle at like level whatever, you know. Level 1 is, I would say, perfectly fine too, because the only reason why you are trying to use the monocle here is because you want to be able to actually get your cookies out of the stun in order to use the skill. So in this particular stage, I would say the best one is going to be espresso. So now I'm going to actually replace licorice for espresso. If you do not have espresso's magic candy and you guys have frost queen, then use frost queen. If you guys don't have the magic candy, you have seafair, use seafair. If you have clotted, use clotted. You do need an AoE damage dealer for this one. All right, that's the reason why we're using someone like espresso, someone like seafair, frost queen, clotted, is because you want to be able to get rid of those enemies that you're gonna see later on. So this is the team that I'm gonna bring. The hogs in this case is gonna be a little bit different. So let me just go into the actual battle and show you guys exactly what I mean, why it's a little bit different. All right, so here we go. All right, here we go. 1-3. All right, so the reason why espresso is so good, not only because, you know, he does injury, he does nuking damage, but he also, you know, stuns the enemy if you have it at plus 10. If you don't, you know, at least the injury and the you know, the suck in right here into the middle is definitely going to help you guys stall some time so that your cookies are not getting attacked. Instead, they're getting sucked to the middle, right? So it is definitely something that I would say is pretty good. You can use the monocle here and there just to increase a little bit of the HP because of the debuff, right here, the healing decreased by 75%. The monocle heal is like literally nothing. You're basically, like I said, using this to get out of the stun. Alright, so I would say in this particular stage, pumpkin as well as cotton are going to be key, and then your espresso as well as your, you know, whoever it is that you're gonna use in order to kill off all of these minions. So you can see the 2 hogs are here, but there's a lot of different minions or the smaller mobs. These smaller mobs can actually start chewing away at your, you know, at your espresso and eclair. So that's the reason why we're bringing espresso in order to kind of deal with them. And here you guys can see that we have the monocle, so I'm going to use that monocle real quick. I'm going to use pumpkin pie right there, and then here we go. So you guys can see that we're stunned, but we're actually going to have some room to actually use our skills. So this is the difference between this stage and the later stage. The later stage, you're gonna have a hog, but that hog stage, you're literally not gonna have any room to use your skills, right? Right now, you're able to use your skills, but later on, you're just not gonna be able to. That's the reason why bringing someone like Coco or Parfait / Monocle is gonna be like the best thing to do. So I would suggest if you guys go into the boss stage, put it at 1 time speed so that anytime you get out of the stun, you can quickly mash all the buttons and use all the skills at the same time right there. So you can see that there is that gap between when the stuns come in to use all the skills. So the 1-3 is a little bit easier in that sense. Later on, I believe it's like 1-9 is going to be where you're just going to be stunned non-stop. Alright, so I would say in this particular stage, you do not need Coco. I done it with Coco, but you know, the Coco in this account is a little bit low on the level, as well as actually not level, I think it was the toppings. I think the level was actually 60, yeah, 60, but the topping was 20% damage with this, so I just went with Wildberry, and it worked perfectly fine with the monocle. Alright, so as long as you have somebody who can deal with the K counts in, you know, in between the hogs, like Espresso as well as Eclair, and then Pumpkin Pie and Cotton to kind of tank it, as well as Wildberry to just be in the front and deal that nuke damage at the end of the Mega Punch, then definitely this team works out. I would say the key component once again are going to be Cotton, Pumpkin Pie, in majority of the cases, as well as Espresso or any of the nukers. So once again, Sea Fairy, Clotted, Frost Queen all work at the same time. If you do not have any of them and you have Oyster, I would say Oyster actually works out too, just because Oyster is able to fend off the enemies with the soldiers. So I would say that's another thing you guys can use. But yeah, I mean, I would suggest just going with Wildberry, just because Wildberry is able to do more damage, and because of the fact that you have to deal with more than just the hogs for this particular stage. So that's something that I want you guys to keep in mind. Once again, the magic candy for JoyRool's account is +1, so everybody is able to at least create espresso cookies to +1, I believe, because you get everything, all the materials and things like that. You get it in the beginning, as well as, you know, from the care packages that they're giving out right now. If you guys have logged in, then you guys can actually create this. So I would say espresso for this particular master mode is going to be great. But that's gonna be it for this video. 1-1, 2, and 3. I will be continuing on with 1-4, 5, and 6, and now trying out different builds and things like that, testing it out on JoyRool's account, because her account is a lot less than or less, I would say, built than my account. Of course, I've been playing a lot more, and I have a lot more cookies that are, you know, maxed out, full promotion, even ascended. She doesn't have any of that, especially with the legendaries and ancients and stuff like that. Only particular ones that she does have is, like, you know, Eclair and Cotton, because I told her they're absolutely broken, and the camera error is 4 stars. But I will be continuing on with the series. I think it's gonna become a more of like 4-part video. So I will be doing 1-3 today for this video, and then 1-6, and then 1-9 up to 1-9, and then probably till 1-13. Alright, but just keep these tips in mind. Try to use the cookies that I've suggested if you guys have them. Make sure to realize that it is a master mode, and you are gonna need a pretty decent amount of damage resist, especially for your frontline tanks. Alright, so I hope you guys found the video helpful for 1-1, 2, and 3. I hope that you guys can use this guide to actually clear these stages. Thanks for watching, and watch the other videos that I have in front of you guys. I will see you guys over there.